Hello, hello les potos, c'est Chaîne Glacier. Là, sur un jeu que je veux vous faire découvrir. Peut-être il n'y a pas beaucoup qui le connaissent. CALLOFJUAREZ. Là. Pas bien. Un jeu de tir. Du western. Alors moi j'adore. Hein. Super facile. Hello hello les potos gamers, c'est Chaîne Glacier. Voilà, sur un nouveau jeu. Il n'est pas tellement nouveau, il est plutôt vieux même. CALLOFJUAREZ. Ah. Jeu de tir. Découvrir. Allez, on va voir ça. Alors. L'histoire. On va mettre en normal.
Don't I know you, sir?
Don't believe so. I haven't been here in many years. Name's Silas Greaves.
Silas Greaves? The bounty hunter?
Used to be.
Ah, well, what are you doing here in Abilene?
Just passing through. Got a little business to take care of.
Well, sir, it would be an honor if you would allow me to buy you a beer.
Hell, son, it would be my honor to drink it.
I'm Molly. Howdy.
I'm Dwight. That's Jack and Steve. Ben's behind the bar. Oh, I bet you got some great stories.
A couple.
Any of them true?
Jack, be nice.
A few.
What about your shootout with Henry Plummer's gang in Bannock, Montana? Is that where you started as a bounty hunter? That's what it says in this here dime novel.
Don't believe everything you read in them dime novels, boy. First man I hunted was back when I was riding with Billy the Kid.
You knew Billy the Kid?
Damn right. That scrawny son of a bitch had no fear. Wouldn't back down for nobody.
I heard he collected the 10 stars off any crooked lawman who crossed him.
It was a war, boy. The Lincoln County War. And Billy promised his regulators would take the life of every bastard who helped bushwhack John Tunstall.
Kid had a big chip on his shoulder and a hair-trigger temper. Made him dangerous as hell. It was about 30 years ago. Billy was hiding out in an abandoned farm near Stinking Springs. I threw in with the kid because the man I had sworn vengeance on was riding with Billy's enemies. But before I tell you why I want that sumbitch dead, let me tell you what happened that day. I was heading back to the hideout when suddenly I had this funny feeling.
Funny, ha-ha?
No, Steve. The other kind of funny.
stay here to keep an eye on the road.
That's not fair. We're missing all the fun.
I knew those two morons would never let me through. I had no choice.
It's you, Was it Pat Garrett's posse?
Oh, yeah. I heard the shots and I knew I had to move fast. Garrett and his army of deputies had surrounded the entire homestead. I decided to help Billy and the boys out a bit. So that's just what I did. As the governor of New Mexico was paying for the kids' apprehension, Garrett was able to hire every gun hand in Lincoln County.
Là. Là.
I'm putting you down. Look out! He's one of them. He's right behind us.
Garrett's men were running around like a bunch of chickens with their heads cut
Let's
off.
send these some bitches running. I'll do you myself. I'll flank it.
Still, one of them reached the water tower. Not a bad idea. Would be a turkey shoot from up there.
You think you can kill me too?
Luckily, these shooters Garrett hired weren't the sharpest tools in the shed. A lot of them were saddle tramps or sod busters or drunken drifters looking to make a few bucks.
You're done.
Ben, I heard a friendly voice yelling at me from the window. Back door! We'll cover you!
Try aiming, you idiot.
Truth be told, things weren't much better behind the house.
Watch your flank! Where'd he come from?
Their numbers in half. But that just made the ones that were left twice as mad. They made up for their lack of skill with a seemingly endless supply of ammo. And like that, I was inside, none the worse for wear.
Deader than a rat
I
in a
passed
trap.
Dirty Dave,
I'll kill you myself.
and upstairs I found Billy
How's that
and
back?
Charlie Bolton.
Hey, you like that?
Yeah.
Billy looked at me and said, "About time, amigo. Grab a gun and get to the window."
Wait, so you were friends with Billy the Kid?
Yeah, sort of. Anyway, we were surrounded by dozens of deputized shooters who wanted to do us harm.
Billy's worth $500. Someone shoot that bastard. Keep us up all day.
I'm telling you, Garrett's men were dropping like flies, but they just kept on coming.
Where the hell Garrett get you?
That's when Charlie got hit. "Catching us in a crossfire," shouted Billy. "Get to the other side."
Possible.
Where'd he come from? Guess you've had enough.
Pas bien sûr, mais je me coupe pas, quoi. C'est bien.
I don't know how many of those cocksuckers I personally put down, but it was pretty clear, even to Billy, that maybe discretion was a part of valor.
What's that mean?
It means that it was time to cut and run. "They got a Gatling," Billy shouted. "Get the horses and bring them round back." All their attention. cut and run. Directed that order at me, and I thought, why the hell do I have to do it? But I went anyway. I said I would. Many would have fled it. But I had that false sense of invincibility that many young men have. Like Jack here.
What are you saying, old man?
Jack, he's just joshing with you now.
Yeah, he better be.
Mr. Greaves, please continue.
Please, call me Silas, ma'am. Now, where was I?
You were heading for the barn.
Gonna cut you a new one.
Appuie sur...
Making my way past the fallen foe.
Sounds like Garrett hired a whole regiment of hired guns.
Yeah, and just when I thought I was done with it, more of these hapless bastards would pop up.
Oh, dis-moi quand c'est pour... quand c'est le pistolet, c'est bien, pas d'accord.
Finally, I had the stables within my reach.
Putain. Chercher les chevaux et...
And that's when I met Sheriff Pat Garrett.
I read that you went toe-to-toe with him, sir. That backstabbing bastard with that tacked-on tin star.
Premier duel, aïe aïe. Ce que je redoute.
challenged him to a showdown.
You read that in a dime novel?
It said he showed no fear as he took your measure with eyes like a rattlesnake.
Alors, restez focalisé sur l'ennemi. Là. Et à chaque fois, ah, c'est sûr.
Man, they killed him in a fair fight.
Is that what that Penny Dreadful said? No, boy. That ain't what I meant when I said I met Pat Garrett. So let me start again. I finally reached those damn stables. Stepped inside, and last thing I heard was Garrett's voice. That's not Billy.
And go on, how did it end?
And, boy, that was just the beginning.
Bien joué. Ah.
So what happened? Did Garrett arrest you?
Yeah, after I came to, the bastard had clocked me with his Colt.
And the kid surrendered?
When he realized there was no getting out of there alive.
So they locked you up in Lincoln?
Indeed they did. Sentenced me to hang right along with the kid. It's important to know that I was only riding with Billy so I could find the bastard I was after. He was with John Kinney's gang, and they were sworn enemies of Billy's regulators.
Why were you after him?
I owed that son of a bitch a bullet for what he had done to me and mine. Instead, all I got for myself was a goddamn death sentence. Luckily, it was right around then that I heard Billy make his move. He shot Jim Bell and a few other guards as he made his getaway. Later, they wrote that some lady friend planted a pistol for him in the privy. What the papers didn't say is that Billy helped me escape, too. My first order of business was finding a firearm. Luckily, I located Deputy Bob Ollinger's mean-ass shotgun. I saw Billy through the window, and he yelled that I should take to the rooftops to make my escape. So I did.
Anybody see Billy?
Hell yeah. That scatter gun was like a double-barreled howitzer. It could blow a man clear off his feet. You hardly had to aim the damn thing. The kids escaped and raised a huge ruckus. Guards were everywhere looking for him.
Can't let the kid get away. Oh my God! Anybody see him?
I had to jump from roof to roof like a damn alley cat. I followed the planks where I could, but some of that roof was slippery as hell. The whole town was up in arms. And suddenly, I was a fugitive.
How the hell did the kid escape? Get out here! Keep missing. Brother, I'm gonna make you. Son of a bitch.
Violence is not the answer.
You can't hide from me. Get the windows, lock the doors.
So that bastard you were after, what did he do?
He did me and my family a grievous harm. But I knew if I was ever gonna find him, I would need to get my ever-loving ass out of there. I tried to be stealthy and sneak my way past.
This town doesn't have a moment's peace.
Get you!
You! By But hell, if they weren't all waiting for me. Apparently, some of them thought I was Billy.
You hooligans can go to hell.
Oh! God damn you! Show yourself, coward! I'm putting you down!
Oh, celui-là.
I'm here.
He's in town somewhere.
See, me and the kid shared a certain similarity in build and coloring. I was just glad I had Deputy Bob's mean-ass shotgun.
Give it up. You can run. Surrender yourself. Put down your weapon.
They're shooting in the street!
I'll flank it. Your headstone.
Lock the door!
There's children here.
We can take them.
So much lead was whizzing by my head, it was like everyone in Lincoln wanted to put me in the ground. I knew I needed to find a horse. Though I never did have a great fondness for those four-legged grass eaters. Smelly, sweaty, ungrateful beasts. We prize them too high, if you ask me.
You can run, but you can't hide. Let's do this. I don't think I'm big enough for this. Had enough? Put down your weapon. Can't hear you. You won't get away with this! Had enough?
You're threatening the lives of innocent people.
Allez, faut grimper. On grimpe. Allez. On est sur les toits. Ça va pas en bas parce que... On redescend.
But where was the kid while you were busy getting shot at?
Gone. And that's when it occurred to me why Billy set me free.
Dis.
So I could be a hapless decoy and draw attention while he snuck out of town. I knew if I made it out of there in one piece, no one would put a price on my head.
Because everybody in Lincoln would be dead?
No, because they all thought I was Billy. And all that blame would fall on him. Meanwhile, Deputy Bob Ollinger was organizing a posse to put me down. He was already a mean son of a bitch, but he was doubly pissed that I stole his mean-ass shotgun. Anyway, it was me or them, and the only way forward led me straight to perdition. But the cards were dealt, and I had no choice but to play them.
You down. I've got this. Kill him. Surrender yourself! Put down your weapon! We can take him! Show yourself, coward! I don't get paid enough for this! You won't get away with this! Can't hide forever!
Finally, I found what I was looking for. The stables on the edge of town.
I guess Billy saved your ass, taking out Bob Ollinger the way he did.
Billy didn't kill Bob.
Sure he did. Dispatched him right after he shot Deputy Bell.
No, sir. Because Bob came right up behind me, angry as hell that Billy had lit out. "Hello, Bob," I said.
Andre?
"I think you better let me go." And he says, "I don't think so, boy. Not with my shotgun." So we stood there in the middle of the street, eyeball to eyeball. He intended to kill me, and I knew I had no choice but to defend myself. Some say I fought unfairly. They weren't the ones looking him in the eye. Pat Garrett gunned down Billy 3 months later, so his escape was all for naught anyway.
So where'd you go after Lincoln?
Mexico. Until I realized nobody was looking for me. I ended up taking a job at the Rurales.
The Mexican Rurales?
I was hired to help them track down the cowboys.
The most vicious outlaw gang in Cochise County? Curly Bill Brocious? Johnny Ringo?
Led by old man Clanton himself.
They must have paid you a pretty penny to take them hombres on.
Not really. But truth be told, I had my own reasons for going after those boys.
So was the bastard you were after now riding with the cowboys?
Roscoe Bob Bryant was his name.
Oh.
But no, this time it was a different bastard I was after. The aforementioned Mr. Ringo. I came upon them robbing a stagecoach, which wasn't surprising, being they were such murderers, thieves, and bastards. The bandits wore red scarves, so I knew they worked for the old man.
Over there!
I did my best to help those poor passengers.
You can run, but you can't hide!
Moments later, the attackers were dead, and I checked the stagecoach to see how many passengers were still breathing. None. It was then I wondered if the rocks weren't hiding more bandits. Was that all of them? Or did I just hit the rear guard? I quickly got my answer. They attacked from on high like Apaches often did. They would appear in great numbers from above and rain down lead on their hapless enemies' heads. Making use of the high ground, whatever else they had. Yet the Apaches always appeared out of nowhere. There never seemed to be an end.
Hold on. Were you attacked by Apaches? What happened to the cowboys?
Did I say they were Apaches? I said Clanton's cowboys attacked me Apache style. I was in a pitched battle, but I was holding my own against an overwhelming enemy force. See, at the time, I was still pretty green, but often blunder into regrettable situations. But I just kept shooting at anything I could see up in those dams. I didn't see Ringo, but I knew he was with the cowboys. He and Roscoe Bob had done me a dreadful wrong, and I was determined to have my revenge. But to get to Ringo, I knew I'd have to fight my way past these other assholes first. Unfortunately, I was running out of ammo. Another perfect example of my relative inexperience as a hunter of men. I immediately knew that a tactical retreat was called for, as my vengeful fury was much less impressive without the bullets to back it up. Finally, they managed to corner me. Trapped as I was, the odds of my survival seemed pretty slim. Luckily, serendipity was on my side as I suddenly spotted a way out of my predicament. I ran ahead as if the devil himself was. Bullets were whizzing by my ears, but I wasn't about to roll over and die.
Oh, mon premier échec. Ah, c'est pas possible, j'avais plus de balles.
Hard to hit a moving target.
I just kept running like there was no tomorrow. Because there wouldn't be. Clanton and his men caught up with me. As I was scurrying around those caves, I thought, what was I thinking? Going up against a gang like this. I just kept running, not knowing where the hell I was going.
Ah, j'ai plus de balles.
And that's when something miraculous happened. Like manna from heaven, I found the desiccated remains of what looked like an Apache warrior. The old weapon next to him supplied me with some much-needed ammunition. Bat Masterson once told me it was more important to be lucky than good, and he would know. And imagine my surprise when I found a fistful of dynamite to go along with that ammo. That stroke of good fortune evened the odds and bolstered my confidence. It was time to turn the tables. Time for the prey to become the predator. Time for the hunted to become the hunter. Time.
All right, Jesus, we get it. They were right where you wanted them.
That's right, Jack. I was done running. And the old man's boys were not expecting that. No, sir. I came at them like a wildcat. My fury knew no bounds.
Where's he going? Show yourself! You can't outrun a bullet!
It was finally time for that old man to pay for his sins. I yelled out at the top of my lungs, "Clanton, I'm coming for you!" A little stealth might have made more sense, to be perfectly honest. Because that old fool had a Gatling gun and enough bullets to last him till kingdom come. But I knew I could not let that deter me. Not if I was to find and kill Ringo. I needed to get that old man off that gun. Most everyone thought it was the Ruales who had come up against him in Guadalupe Canyon, but it was just me.
Stop your
Apparently, one of the cowboys made it out of there alive and told Ike and Billy Clanton that it wasn't a Mexican who took their father's life that day. They just assumed it was one of the Earps. And that little misunderstanding eventually led to that legendary gunfight at the OK Corral. A few weeks after that dust-up at the OK Corral, I was still after Johnny Ringo. I had tracked him and the cowboys to their hideout at a sawmill, and they were loaded for bear.
Somebody's coming!
So, what exactly did Johnny Ringo do to piss you off?
Well, him and that other bastard.
Roscoe Bob Bryant?
Yep. They both deserve to die, and I promise I'll tell you why. But first I need to tell you about the Cowboys' new boss, Curly Bill Brocious.
Earth's coming!
Get ready, boys. Curly Bill took charge of the Cowboys upon the old man's demise. And after that gunfight at the OK Corral, the Clantons wanted revenge. So they murdered Morgan Earp and grievously wounded his older brother, Virgil. Went on what became known as the Vendetta Ride, hunting those outlaws down. So when I showed up, that's who they thought I was.
It's you or me.
Caché.
There were killers around every corner, all wearing red bandanas. That's how the Cowboys identified each other. And I was beginning to wish I had one myself.
You're done.
But I wasn't about to let Ringo walk away unscathed. And that's what drove me forward.
They say that Ringo was infernally fast.
I hardly saw anyone faster, boy. Certainly not Wyatt Earp. That man was all hat and no cap.
Of a match for him, but Doc Holliday might have taken him.
That lunger should have kept his nose out of it. They never charged anyone for the murder of Morgan Earp.
But everybody knew that Curly shot him in the back. That was common knowledge.
Yeah, maybe so. But Ringo had nothing to do with it. He was just being loyal to a friend.
Is that what you call it? Being loyal? Well, to get to that loyal friend, I had to pass by some buzzsaws as big as a man. What's that, Dwight?
After old man Clanton died, why didn't his son take over the Cowboys?
Because Ike Clanton was dumber than a box of rocks and a yellow belly to boot. Where was I?
Taking down the entire cowboy gang single-handed.
Indeed I was, Jack. It wasn't easy, as those boys had good cover.
réussi à me mettre tout mal alors que... On guet-apens. Mec, il me tire dessus, je vois pas où il est, c'est en l'air. On voit où il est. Ah, il doit mettre plus loin. Ah, yes! Il sert à rien. Mais c'est fou, je tire dessus, à croire que la branche elle doit empêcher quoi. Pêche hein. Par-dessus et alors? Ouais, j'avais du mal et c'était derrière en fait. Même la spépopée de l'idée.
Carts everywhere, piles of lumber, and God knows what else for people to hide behind. That really was one hell of a sawmill. Quite an impressive operation.
Attention, hein, t'as vu, il y a des pièges. Je fais pas attention que... Ah, ok. Je pense. Ah ouais.
And where was Curly Bill? Did you see him?
I'm about to get to that, Ben. Patience. I'm painting a picture here. There was this beautiful waterfall and a crystal clear stream that led to a verdant valley that was truly...
Consider your picture painted. What happened next?
Well, finally the bastards that were still alive made a last stand. Curly Bill, Johnny Ringo, and his compadres took off into the lumber yard, and I followed after.
Ah. Il y a du gaz. Là, on va trouver Bill. Bill. Et Bill? Non, c'est pas un duel.
Are you saying they ran? Cowardice was not in Ringo nor Curly Bill's nature.
No, sir. I never said they were running scared. They just wanted me.
Dance with the devil.
Ah, déjà, ça attaque fort. Les mecs, déjà direct, ils arrivent dans ton dos, quoi, direct.
You can't hide forever, boy. No one kills Curly Bill.
Les mecs, ils sont blindés ou quoi?
Kill you like I killed Morgan. Send you to kill me.
Un devant, un derrière.
Make your peace, brother.
Comme ça continue.
Hide and laugh.
Non, chaud, là. Oh, mais c'est un truc de fou, il meurt jamais. C'est un titane, le mec. Pénible, ça devient pénible. Hein.
Just gave me no choice but to take his life. But Ringo was nowhere to be found.
Vraiment dur, hein? T'es coriace.
I knew you didn't kill Ringo, because he was found dead in a different location altogether.
To this day, his killer is still unknown.
Indeed. Took me a few months before I finally tracked his ass to West Turkey Creek Canyon.
That's incredible, sir. I always thought that Doc Holliday was the one that killed him.
Aïe, aïe, j'y arriverai jamais. C'est trop rapide. Oh là là.
That's incredible,
J'ai
sir.
vraiment du mal à
I always
faire
thought that
ça.
Doc Holliday was the one that killed him. That's incredible, sir. I always thought that Doc Holliday was the one that killed him.
J'ai tiré. Ah, je comprends pas. Là, il est focalisé 64. S-Max. Ce que je fais, gagner plus vite avec ma main. Et était vite ça, j'ai tiré avant lui. Je comprends pas.
That's incredible, sir. I always thought that Doc Holliday was the one that killed him.
Non, c'est pas possible, ça me l'a pas compté. Ah, je l'ai tué, quoi.
That's incredible, sir. I always
On va y
thought that
arriver,
Doc
je sais pas,
Holliday
hein.
was the one that killed him.
Et j'ai tiré 2 fois avant lui. Donc je comprends pas. D'ailleurs, je comprends pas. Il faut que je l'évite. Je peux pas l'éviter.
That's incredible, sir. I always thought that Doc Holliday was the
Ah,
one
c'est
that killed him.
pénible ça qu'il n'y a pas un mode là. Soit le gros bémol du genou. Ça.
Sorry I had to ruin the legend for you, boy. But the legend ain't always true. Doc Holliday had nothing to do with the death of Johnny Ringo.
Les duels. J'ai galéré pour continuer. Quoique. Non, plus vite.
I was paid a healthy bounty for Ringo and Curly Bill, and realized there was real money to be made. That's why I went after Henry Plummer.
Now, wasn't he the sheriff who augmented his income by shaking down miners and robbing gold shipments?
That's the one.
Oh, yeah, I remember him. He ran that gang of thieving outlaws called the Innocents.
So it's true that you went toe-to-toe with him?
Indeed I did, son. Indeed I did. I knew I needed resources if I was going to track down Roscoe Bob Bryant, and hunting Plummer looked like a good way to get rich quick. As the local vigilantes exposed him as the leader of the bandits, and put a generous price on his head. Plummer rallied his gang to plunder one last gold mine before making their escape, and that's where I thought I'd find him.
It makes me nervous standing so close to all these goddamn barrels of gunpowder.
Why would you be nervous? No one has a gun for us. As long as you don't light on cigar, we're fine.
Yeah, besides, George is up there on the rocks with that rifle of his. Nothing gets past him.
As my late father pointed out to me more than once, God made men. Samuel Colt made them equal. I knew that dynamite wasn't mine, so I decided the polite thing would be to return it. It was the biggest gold rush since Sutter's Mill in '48. Unfortunately, prospectors weren't the only ones drawn to those riches. There were thieves, killers, robbing travelers, and hijacking gold shipments. Like those that ran with Plummer. Some were just regular folks I knew from town, drawn by greed and easy pickings. Charlie Crow, the blacksmith. James, who worked in the stable. Sam and Jeremiah Barber, the butcher's sons. Ordinary citizens who lived a double life. Stealing and thieving and murdering their neighbors. force the rest were veterans of the Civil War. Stone-cold killers trained on the bloody fields of Shiloh and Antietam. A lot of men on this payroll. A hell of a lot. That son of a bitch pretended to protect the public with one hand while stealing them blind with the other. He set up a defensive perimeter which I had no idea how to breach.
Péter, on fait tout péter. La propre raison, c'est que si on passe à côté d'un baril, on se fait exploser. On se fait...
Dangerous, desperate individual. I was outnumbered and in way over my head, but I was too damn stubborn and stupid to realize it. They must have thought I was tough. Or had some kind of death wish. Seeing as there were barrels of gunpowder everywhere. One stray bullet, one stray spark, and I'd be blown to hell and gone. Did I have any second thoughts about what I was doing? No. I thought I was some kind of hero. I finally made it past and headed on to meet my destiny. But first, I had something I needed to figure out.
Je le sens pas bien. Je le sens pas bien. Pas bien du tout.
I had a few ideas on how to get into that mine, but once I made my decision, I knew there was no turning back. So my first thought was to enter the nearest mine portal. I saw an entrance. Made sense. It was the quickest way in, but that also made it more dangerous, as there would undoubtedly be enemy pickets posted along the way.
God damn you!
Il pas tout, quoi. Il est fou, lui. Il est fou.
Your turn.
Oh là. On est en l'air.
Besides, once you enter a mine like that, it's easy to get all turned around. And that confusing maze of corridors wouldn't even be the worst of it. Some of those shafts could be as deep as hell. single stumble or misstep can easily end in a deadly plunge to oblivion.
I'm here. You ain't beefing me. I do not deserve to die like this. I will drop you down a mine shaft. You can run, but you can't hide. You must be about out of bullets. Time to pull your shit up.
Oh, pas dans la tête, que c'est.
Quick reflexes often make up for lack of common sense. Luckily, I was never one to be easily bushwhacked.
Le piège. Ah là, ouais, sacré piège. Ça va.
I would just need to be careful not to blow myself to kingdom come. With all that gunpowder and dynamite everywhere, a body has to know what he's shooting at. All it takes is one tiny spark, and boom.
Surprise! You ain't beefing me. God damn you! Had enough?
As a boy, I always loved the 4th of July.
J'ai trop visé la tête. Fallait pas viser la tête. C'est pas possible. On va y arriver, on va y arriver. Faut pas se décourager. Donc l'autre, il faut le tirer dans le corps et pas dans la tête. On a mis une balle à gun. T'as vu, il attendait avec le flingue.
One wrong bullet could have turned that mine into a dad blasted potato.
Oh, fallait que tu fasses quoi là? Tu sors dans la balle?
I freely admit that my plan of attack is not just honest, but clearly nice.
No.
It's a good thing that I abandoned that ridiculous plan before I even tried it. Instead, I spotted a ladder way into the mine from the opposite side.
Ah, en fait, je l'ai raté. Oh, oh.
It was a long way around, but that approach seemed more sensible at the time. Of course, Being I had a problem with heights, that scaffolding scared the bejesus out of me. Climbing down that ladder required some caution. Because even though I had a younger man's reflexes, no man can dodge a damn bullet while climbing down a rickety ladder. I needed to make a leap of faith, which ain't easy when you're suspended between heaven and hell. Determined not to give up. As Sheriff Plummer seemed quite the despicable character. When the vigilantes discovered what the sheriff was up to, people were outraged. That 10,000 they put on his head would go a long way to helping me find old Bob. I have made it my mission to settle that score come hell or high water. But first, I would have to make a choice. Take the elevator or climb the ladder.
De se perdre.
I picked the more convenient and more dangerous route. Plummer was a mad dog killer, and the people of Nevada City deserved better.
C'est abusé, il y a des passages, c'est vraiment abusé. Obligé de crever.
Right, well, he was the sheriff of both places at one time or another, but that's neither here nor there. The point was, taking him down would save a lot of lives, including my own.
Sure, I know. C'est bien long là, cette mine. Ok, on va falloir monter lui. On va lancer des bombes sur la gueule. Ça va être chouette.
Henry Plummer was clearly unhinged, and I could see right away that this was going to take some doing. Bastard!
la tête, lui. Aïe, 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 aïe. Bien c'est abusé là, sérieux?
Him and his crew were worth their weight in gold.
Eh bien, on a galéré à tuer celui-là.
And now, I was officially a bounty hunter.
J'ai fini.
So, did you finally go after that Bob feller?
Well, I heard word he was in Kansas with John Wesley Hardin. So that's where I went.
Where in Kansas?
Abilene. Why do you ask, Ben?
No reason.
Was Hardin as fast as Ringo?
Ringo was fast, but John Wesley was as fast as the devil himself. Hell, he killed his first man at 15. From that day forward, he had a price on his head and wouldn't back down for nobody, not even Wild Bill Hickok himself. I dodged death many a time, and that night in Abilene was no different. I was there with the intention of finding that bastard Bob and collecting the bounty on John Wesley. Oh!
gun you down.
I thought the Texas Rangers got Harden.
Yeah, that's what they want you to believe. It was cold in a witch's tit and a brass bra that night as I fought my way past his loyal compadres. To the very same saloon we're sitting in today. Look around and imagine this place painted in blood. Harden was waiting for me, and... Wait, I'm jumping the gun here. Let me back up and give you some background on this sumbitch. He deserves that. Don't you think so, Ben? John Wesley Harden was a killer. By the end, he confessed to taking the lives of 42 men. He was a bona fide folk hero by then, and had amassed a gang of armed miscreants and other assorted thugs. He and his men set up camp outside of town, and I was hoping Bob was among them. They didn't ask why I was there. They knew. That most of them were wanted as well. I figured Harden was here somewhere, but to get to him, I'd have to get past his gun hands. And that was easier said than done, as most of them were as foolish and full of bravado as I was. I had to spill a lot of blood to find out Harden wasn't in that camp. He was carousing in town with his closest friends. Harden's boys apparently didn't want me to reach the Bull's Head. Some were hightailing it into town to inform their jefe of my unwelcome presence.
Tell Harden someone's coming for him. Stop that sumbitch! Let the boys know we got another law dog.
Le fou quoi, je tire dessus, il meurt pas.
I wondered if Bob was among them. And I steeled myself for the fight ahead. For as good as I was, deep down I wondered if John Wesley wasn't just a little bit better. Before I could test my mettle against Harden, however, I would first need to dispatch his cadre of hired killers. Most of these degenerates were beyond redemption, but John Wesley might have been a different story.
Allez, c'est pas possible ça, je peux pas me jeter.
Shut it.
God damn him!
I didn't learn until later that that night was in fact his birthday celebration. I think I already mentioned that I found Hardin in this very saloon. Suffice it to say, nobody there was happy to see me.
Une petite pause. Ah. Prendre.
In fact, I felt a certain hostility. I was disappointed that neither Bob nor John Wesley were among the dead. But that was short-lived, as a moment later I was facing down the fastest gun in the West. I felt a bolt of adrenaline, Maybe that was fear. He was well known for his tricks, and I knew I'd need my own if I was ever to defeat him. That man was faster than greased lightning. But being inebriated as he was, he didn't count his shots. And now, he was at my mercy.
So he didn't die?
No, I sent him to prison. Years later, after he was free, some restless Avenger took his life. Shot him in the back in a saloon just like this one. Anybody up for another beer? Ben? Thank you, darling. Yeah, some say revenge is a dish best served cold.
So whatever happened to that Bob guy you were after?
Personally, I'd like to hear some of your other adventures. Like, I don't know, did you ever go toe-to-toe with a red man?
Yes, I did, Ben. I remember once I was after this renegade Apache, Grey Wolf. Strangely enough, revenge was also his primary motivation. A bounty was put on Grey Wolf's head, and that's how I came to hunt him in the mountains. Mountains so high they tickled the nether regions of heaven. Grey Wolf was a Chiricahua Apache medicine man who had led a war party in revenge for a massacre against his people. The U.S. Army had attacked his tribe during his daughter's sacred sunrise ceremony, and the slaughter was unspeakable. I understood his anger, as there's nothing more traumatic than seeing those you love die in a cruel and painful death. Right from the beginning, I couldn't shake the feeling that Grey Wolf was watching my every move. He led a band of young Apache warriors who wanted retribution, and were more than willing to die for him. They saw me before I saw them. And it crossed my mind that maybe this wasn't such a good idea. But now that the shooting had started, there was no backing down.
Ouais, il y a quand même bien au-dessus là. ça ira.
It was rugged country, the winter home of the Chiricahuas. And that's why they had retreated there. I admit to having some regrets about going after them the way I did. But then again, I got a lot of those.
Did you find Grey Wolf?
Not at that moment, but I did find the entrance to their hiding. Deep crevice that led to a deeper cave.
Don't tell me you went down there.
Yeah, but it's not out of bravery so much as pure, angry cussedness.
On va tarder à faire une petite pause. On va faire donc. Comment on fait pour passer là? Bah pourtant j'ai mis une balle. Doucement, hein. Peut-être un peu trop vite.
See, back then, I had a stubborn streak a mile wide, and I wasn't about to back down.
So it was like pitch black in there?
Actually, it was pretty well lit, as they had torches on the walls.
was his cave?
Big as hell, Ben. Chiricahua had hid out there during the Indian Wars.
Oh, mais je l'ai eu. Ah, 2 fois je l'ai tiré dessus. Allez, 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 allez.
They thought it was haunted with the ghosts of those murdered by the horse soldiers.
The cave was haunted with dead Indian ghosts?
To be honest, I was more concerned with the live ones than the dead ones.
En doute qu'il y en avait en haut.
How come you know so much about engines?
A few years back, I was married to 2 Mescalero women.
At the same time?
Yeah, they were sisters. Polygyny is traditional among the Mescalero.
So what happened?
Oh, I had to get out of there. Those girls never shut up. Both of them nagging at me all the time. Drove me half crazy. Haven't seen them since.
No, I mean, what happened with Grey Wolf?
Oh, well, I pursued him into the Cave of Death.
Voilà, on va faire une pause. Après.